She's not lonely. She's finally whole. But most people won't see it that way. They'll glance at her, alone at a cafe, alone in a park, alone in her home, and quietly assume something's wrong. Poor thing. She's still waiting for someone. But what if she isn't waiting at all? What if she's just done giving herself away to people who never knew what to do with her? Her silence isn't emptiness. It's presence. She's not filling space. She is the space. And while the world may call that sad or unnatural, Carl Jung saw it differently. He knew that women who walk alone are not avoiding love. They're returning to themselves, and that is something far more powerful. See, we've been trained to misunderstand her. Society slaps labels on women like this: cold, difficult, damaged, too picky. But those labels say more about the people using them than about the woman herself. They're tools of fear, a way to explain what can't be controlled. Because in a world that worships couples, even the toxic ones, a woman who chooses solitude is a problem. Not because she's wrong, but because she refuses to play the role. Jung believed that people like her hold up a mirror to the collective shadow, the parts of ourselves we'd rather not face. And that's exactly why she's judged. But this isn't a story about loneliness. It's a story about clarity, about emotional maturity, about a woman who stopped living for applause and started living in truth. Asterisk, asterisk 1. She's not lonely. She's selective. Asterisk. Most people still think a woman who lives alone must be missing something. Or worse, someone. But here's the truth. She's not lonely. She's selective. She's not avoiding love. She's avoiding the kind of love that wears her down. She's not cold. She's just done setting herself on fire to keep someone else warm. And that unsettles people. Because Carl Jung believed we project what we refuse to face in ourselves. So when someone sees a woman like this, whole, grounded, not chasing, they don't see a mystery. They see a mirror. And what they see reflected makes them uncomfortable. Asterisk, asterisk 2. Her solitude is sacred, not sad. Asterisk, asterisk. The world sees her silence and calls it a void. But they're wrong. It's not a void. It's a sanctuary. She's not sitting around waiting to be rescued. She's sitting with herself, fully. And in that stillness, something grows that can't be rushed. Peace, power, clarity. She doesn't post quotes about self-worth. She doesn't need to prove anything. She faced her shadow and chose herself. Asterisk. Her strength wasn't born from comfort. It came from chaos. She's loved too deeply, given too much, waited too long. And in return, she got silence, excuses, and crumbs. But instead of becoming bitter, she became clear. She stopped calling dysfunction passion. She stopped calling inconsistency mystery. She stopped begging for love that only made her feel invisible. That's what Jung called individuation, the process of facing your shadow and becoming whole. Not despite the pain, but because of it. She didn't stop believing in love. She just stopped accepting anything that made her shrink to fit inside it. Asterisk, asterisk 4. She doesn't want to complete anyone. She wants to overflow. Asterisk, asterisk. She's not half a heart waiting to be completed. She's a whole being waiting to be met. She wants a connection that doesn't drain her. It matches her. Not someone who wants her silent so he can speak louder, but someone who's quiet enough to listen. She's not chasing. She's not performing. She's waiting, not for attention, but for resonance. The world teaches women they're only whole when they're with someone. But she redefined that. And that scares the ones still searching for validation in someone else's eyes. Asterisk 5. She's broken generational patterns. Asterisk. This woman doesn't just speak for herself. She speaks for the women who never got the chance. She carries the silence of her mother, the pain of her grandmother, the conditioning of every woman who was told to stay, to submit, to survive. And she said, asterisk no more. Carl Jung said, the tree that reaches to heaven must have roots that reach into hell. Because she went into the darkest places of her past, and she came out stronger, sharper, and unwilling to repeat what broke the women before her. Now, when someone tells her she's too much, she doesn't flinch. She smiles, because finally, she knows she was never asking for too much. She was just asking the wrong people. Asterisk 6. She's emotionally sovereign, and that's why she's feared. Asterisk. Blissed woman doesn't need someone to entertain her. She doesn't need approval. She doesn't need to be chosen. She chooses. Her standards aren't unreasonable. They're real. And real love isn't scared of standards. Only unready people are. To someone used to drama, her calm feels cold. To someone used to games, her honesty feels heavy. But make no mistake, she's not unreachable. She's just not interested in being someone's emotional project. And that kind of self-possession, that's what makes people nervous. Asterisk 7. She's not unreachable. She's undeniable. Asterisk. She doesn't raise her voice. She doesn't try to win anyone over. She doesn't move loud, but she moves deep. Not because she demands it, but because she isn't performing. When she says no, it's not attitude, it's alignment. When she walks away, it's not punishment, it's protection. Carl Jung believed true growth means learning to carry opposites, being soft and firm, open and wise, present and private. She lives that balance. And because she doesn't need anyone, she attracts those who bring value, not drama. A new archetype has emerged. Asterisk. She doesn't fit into the old categories. Not the submissive woman waiting for permission. Not the hardened one who's given up on love. She stands somewhere in between, rooted, real, awake. She's been through enough to know what she won't tolerate. And that clarity, it's wisdom. She's walked through her own fire, not to burn others, but to burn off what no longer belonged. She's still open to love, but only the kind that doesn't ask her to shrink. She's not pushing connection away. She's pushing away distortion, the kind that pretends to be love but feels like loss. And now, she's not waiting to be picked. She picks. She chooses. This didn't happen in a weekend. It happened one hard decision at a time. One moment of silence when she could have chased. One no that felt like peace instead of fear. This is emotional evolution. A quiet revolution. And it's happening in plain sight. The final shift. Asterisk. Maybe you recognize her. Maybe you are her. Or maybe you used to be. And something in you, right now, wants to return to that strength you once left behind. She doesn't want to be praised for standing alone. She wants to be understood for not folding. She doesn't need applause. She needs presence. Until the world understands that, she'll keep walking. Not in rebellion, not in defiance, but in truth. She doesn't move ahead to lead. She doesn't stay behind to follow. She walks her own line, with her back straight, her heart clear, and her soul intact. Carl Jung once said, asterisk those who look outward dream, but those who look inward awaken, asterisk. And this woman, she's not dreaming anymore. She's wide awake. She's not looking for someone to fix her. She's not looking for someone to fill her. She's looking for someone who knows how to stand beside her. And until then, she stays exactly where she is. Whole, clear, complete.